We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. The volume. Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Another, and my other brother from another mother. What's good, y'all? It's been a minute since we had one of these.
Yeah, because when people become celebrities, they can't check in no more.
Listen, man, there's been a lot going on this year. A lot going on this year.
Well, I got discovered.
Talk to me.
I'm sorry.
Talk to me.
So what had happened? I was I was needing some money, and this girl talked me into going on Pornhub, and so I did a video on Pornhub, and got a lot of likes, and now I'm back in the porn business. What can I say?
Hey,
It's me, man. No, everybody, man. To all the bad guy fans out there, I think I left y'all introducing my new tag, Cockaroo. If we go back and look at the last episode, the chief, right? 98 Charlie. He said, "I'm not getting behind it," and he turned my mic. It was very
No.
It's the way I remember it.
No, it was hard for me to keep saying cockaroo, because all I wanted, listen, every time I see it, listen to mine. What's funny? I always say pause in the back of my head. Cockaroo, pause. And I feel like Mace and Cameron's show, because every time I see it, because I just couldn't keep saying, yeah, this is my dude Cockaroo, pause. Like every time, yeah, my dude, guess who coming up on stage next? My dude Cockaroo, pause.
So this is the thing.
I got two Cockaroos in the house, pause.
Hey, listen, it's a family name, man.
Talk to me about, okay, let's talk about that, because I know that you were starting to explain it, but I didn't get I need the origin story.
So I'm going to give you a 30-minute origin story in 3 minutes. John Henry. We all know John Henry, right?
Yep.
American folklore. Well, there is another African American folklore by the name of High John the Conqueror. High John the Conqueror then isn't really written about, because High John the Conqueror isn't one of those stories that white people like to acknowledge. Okay. High John the Conqueror was a prince from the Congo who flew over to see what was going on with the slave trade. He got sold into slavery, and at the end of the day, he seen that slavery was too much for him. So he basically became a trickster. He was a problem for anybody and everybody that was against the Hebrew man and woman. And over times, he just has tales after tales of making the white man look bad, even in slavery days and Jim Crow. He's bestowed some powers and so forth, and he leaves this realm and basically becomes a god, and he leaves his seed, which is known as the cockaroo. Now, Muddy Waters, Zornell Hurston, and Virginia Hamilton all have put them in their works. I think Zornell Hurston is credited for publishing him first. And they asked her, where did she come up with such a great character? She said, that's the story that I've heard, that everyone's heard since the beginning of African American times in America, of High John the Conqueror. It gets funky for me because Muddy Waters, one of my favorite songs, Managed Boy, third verse, the line I shoot will never miss. When I make love to a woman, she can't resist. I think I'll go down to old Kansas too and bring back my second cousin, little Johnny Cockaroo. Now, we're going to pause it there. We're going to get back with the rest of the show. But with that being said, me being from Missouri and Kansas too, I just happen to be the great, 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 great grandson of High John the Conqueror. And there it is. Ta-da! Boney the
Hey,
Conqueror.
if you one of these days, and matter of fact, after the pod, I'm gonna send you. I'm a battle rap fanatic. there is a there is a battle with Conceited from Wildin' Out and Tsunami Surf, Sue Surf. And so on the battle, Conceited says this dude real name is Ray John Cox, right? He said that's not a punchline. That's real fact. He ain't playing games. He said, you know it's bad that you gotta say pause every time somebody says the name, right? And he says, when something going on, the players ain't going right, and the coach says, timeout, guys. Let me put my dude Cox in. Pause. Right. That's so when I hear it, when I send it to you, you'll fall out laughing, bro. It's a
I love
whole
it. I already
it's a
love
whole
it.
8-bar setup where he's talking about somebody. Susur's real name is Cox, and it's a pause thing all day long. It's hilarious though, bro. But that is a dope
Man,
explanation of it though.
my whole life, man, I've seen people run away from anything that could make them feel homosexual, right? Um, me and Ahmad, me and Ace have been together since '98, and I wish somebody would think I was homosexual because again, my name alone has broke up so many happy homes. You got to
Listen,
remember,
let's get
every
no wait a
last
minute.
one of my
Let
every last one
this
of my
music
sons.
going. Let's get this music going one time.
We already did music. We
What
already
is
did
that man
music. Ain't no
taking on over there, man?
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you
of all time.
smell what the rock. Doesn't matter what your name is.
The greatest podcast of all time.
Hey, listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. Click on the notification, click on the bell. That way you get the heads up whenever your boys and is doing their thing. Ace Kennedy. Cockaroo. Hey, listen, man. I've been, so this was funny. So I think this year, let me ask you this. So this is one thing that I've been seeing, right? That I can certainly appreciate, right? And Ace, I wanted to ask you this, but I wanted to see from Chris if this was something. I think everything is typically intentional, but I know that this year for me, right? I call like this year the year of the pivot, right? I've been seeing you pivot. Like, I know that, listen, I think you're a pretty funny guy. I didn't know that you would ever just go ahead and do stand-up, right? I've seen you over the last year pivot, right? To say that maybe something that, yeah, everybody, that Chris, he's hilarious, man. Is he high in front of a crowd? I saw you do bartending, so I saw you with your little fancy drink over here, right? I'm just talking about the things that I've been watching you do as a pivot from what somebody else might have said. Oh, he's good at it, but trying to evolve that good at thing, though, man. This has been a year of pivot, and I've noticed that for a lot of guys. My year of my pivot for this year, right, has been that continuation of evolving. Just because I had a lot of this year already had I'm sure Landon broke his foot, right? My dude is officially out of his crutches as of today, right? And so I had that going on top of moving, on top of us celebrating our 25-year class reunion, on top of me trying to just learn more stuff. I think that I this year I've put an emphasis on trying to not. It's easy for our generation to fall for the you can't teach old dogs new tricks because that was what we inherited from generations ahead. I think that it's pretty impressive though, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's when I saw you on a stage, bro, and not just that, when I saw you mixing drinks, two whole separate things. I was like, damn, that's pretty damn impressive though, bro. Like that's for something like I've always known you to have all the drink, right? Boom Boom Room, classic place, haven't been there, right? But to be doing it though, man. If I had a round of applause, can I get the round of applause button, please? Round of applause. I can't hear it. I can't hear it. But listen, talk to me though, bro. What I'd love for a second. I want to pick your brain. The intention.
Oh man, let's start off with my whole life I've been loved. I come from a loving place. I come from a huge family. Um, and then when I went off and left and went off to the service, I used what my family looked like to gather my friends. I applaud everything to my friends, right? Ahmad Kennedy is one of the first people first friends I made in basic training. And 25 years later, we still rocking. We still rocking. You dig? Um, there are certain things that come up in my life, I'll still reach out to him. And from him, I get his one of his best friends, and now me and you know what I'm saying? We still rock it. So I applaud everything to where I come from, the family I have, and the rules that are made with your cousin, right? My cousin is the one that I use to govern everything else I do. So, what's the next thing Chris does? Well, I want to set the fire that my daddy set, that my grandfather set. I was raised in the house where it was a good time. I was raised in the house when somebody had a problem, you came to that house when the church doors wasn't open, right? So if it's late at night, you're knocking on my granddaddy's door, you're knocking on my daddy's door, and they're gonna answer and they're gonna feed you and they're gonna tell you a good joke. When I moved to Oklahoma and I had a chance to recreate my grandfather or my father's house, I did it. And you witnessed it. You seen the boom boom room. Then I moved up here and went through something that I had no intentions of doing. I got a divorce and it's a death. And it took me a minute to bounce out of that. It took me a minute to regain family in Dayton. It took me a second. And then once I got that family, they did something different. They was like, we've never met anybody like you before. The
Mm.
reality is Texas cats, Missouri cats, Oklahoma cats, Missouri. I'm a dime a dozen around there. But up here, I'm a little different. I'm not the country boy they expected. You know, I wear cowboy boots on a regular basis. You see Cockaroo, he's gonna be in cowboy boots, right? So when I'm stepping out here and doing the wild stuff, that Ahmad would just be like, man, that's Chris, he's crazy, right? These cats be like, man, he's a nut, which in turn then would make me pull my guns out and roast them. Roast them like they had no idea. And then they look at me and be like, you want to fight? I say, sure. And they be like, we just playing. So I learned after I get through roasting them, I got to give them a way out because now you look like a sucker. So we're gonna turn this into a game. It's gonna be a show. Anybody that thinks they can talk to me, come up here. I'll make you a drink. And if you can out talk me, you don't have to pay for your drink. Needless to say, everybody always pays for their drink when they mess with me.
Hmm.
Then it turns into Cockaroo, man. Can you MC this? Ahmad knows. We've been MCing throwing shows since '99. I could do this. Ran into a funny guy. He's headlining my Cockaroo show next week. I'm talking to him about being like how great of a comedian he was. He's like, man, I just started this last year. And I was like, there's no way you just started this last year. He's like, nah, man, people have been telling me I'm this, I'm that. He's like, man, if I told you my story, you would run from me, blah, blah, blah. And the dude is funny. And I went to see him, drove a little bit, drove up to Columbus and seen him. He did the same set I already seen him do, and I'm still laughing.
Mm.
And he was like, "Bro, but you can do this. I follow you on I see you on Facebook." He said, "Man, what you do on Facebook? If you did that on stage, you would kill." And he challenged me to get in a open mic contest. And well, your boy came in third place. It was the first time I was ever on stage.
Yeah,
Impressive.
Took
but this is the
what's
thing.
up?
To me, it wasn't impressive to see him doing any of that stuff because I've seen this all before. Like this is to me, like you said, this is just Chris. Like, see, I mean, we go back to the open mics at Tinker Air Force Base, and these are the things that he did. So it's like watching all of this stuff we knew just be like, y'all just now seeing this. Like I've been knowing he was doing, you know what I'm saying? Like this isn't new, but it is exciting that he's finally stepping into it because he's not the one to get the limelight stuff. He's just like, I'm funny when I want to be, but I'm not gonna step into it. So yeah, it is cool to see that.
It's real dope.
I I I've been a mod fan since the boy sung to me in basic training. I said, "Wow." And you joined the military? He said, got bills to pay. And he's gonna follow his dream. And I watched him. You know what I mean? I watched him try to form this group, that group, and then when he formed into be, I was right there. Every show that he did that was close, I was there. Right. And I can't sing. You know what I mean? Can't sing, can't dance. Shit, I want to be on that stage though. I need these girls to know who I am. You know what I mean? So only thing else I got to do is be funny. And here I am. So as long as I still got my Kennedy ready to sing for me, and I got a brother that got a flow out of this world, man, we gonna throw a show. I plan to throw 4 shows a year, not this year, but hoping in 24 quarterly basis, man. I'm moving around. We're gonna rent out a hall, man, and we're gonna sell some tickets. That's all I did, man. So I rented out a hall for Labor Day, Labor of Laughs, man. We're gonna post it on the way out of here. Everybody, if anybody's watching me from Dayton and September 2nd ain't hit yet, get up on 4919 Hoover Ave, Dayton, Ohio. Yes, that's the west side of Dayton. We up there. I'm throwing a
Mm.
fire. I'm throwing the biggest fire I've thrown since Oklahoma City, and I printed 250 tickets. Right now, I got 120 of them sold. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So COVID's over. COVID's over. It's time to go get these money. It's time to go. And like you say, it damn near
People are
reinvented itself.
outside, bro.
People are
People are
outside,
back outside. And listen,
and they want.
out here, there is a concert almost every single weekend. And I'm talking about especially with this year being the 50th anniversary of hip hop. You see all these old school shows out here. I think, matter of fact, like this weekend, Charlie Wilson and Tank is out here, right? Just 2 weeks ago, Beyonce was out here. The week before that, or 2 weeks before that, we went out and saw the worst show I had ever seen in my entire life. But Monica and Mario was there. But Atlanta is a big hub for summer concerts, and so people are back outside. People are looking for stuff to do, though, bro. So I love seeing that you are an option for those folks to do, though, man, out there.
And it's the thing. I got friends like you. You know what I mean? So whenever I throw a fire, I always bring my DJ with me. DJ Ollie. Me and DJ Ollie been together since I think maybe 2003.
Mm.
Any house party I'm throwing, he's back there. And we work so well together that he can play a song and he knows what joke I'm about to tell, right? Because I've been telling these jokes for years. It's the same thing. We all know what it is. So I'm trying to build a fire so that when I do go back to Oklahoma City, we're gonna get on the radio for a couple months before I get there. We're gonna sell some tickets, man. And if it's only 100 people, if it's only 50 people, me and the mod about to have a ball. And
Mm.
yep, here's Charles Venus. Y'all didn't even know who he was. And then because what I have learned since I left Oklahoma, I have friends that last forever. And I so another one of the guys that are coming to my show this weekend, my right before the main act, brother by the name of Terod Cook. See, Terod Cook is an amazing story because, like me and Ahmad, we met him at Tinker Air Force Base.
Mm.
And Terod, man, he had anxiety, bro. He was nervous. He didn't like to talk. But when I found out he had it, didn't believe it. And I was like, but bro, you talk to me. He's like, man, I'm comfortable around you. He's like, that's why I hang out with you because I'm comfortable. He's like, I know if I hang out with you, I can be in the mix and ain't nobody gonna get too close to me because I stand next to you and no one gets close to you. And it's now I'm older, I can understand that. I can understand the cockaroo in me, right? Because when we go back to who High John is and what he was, he protects his people, right? I'm thinking about my grandfather and my father and my uncles and who they were as men and who I am. And then I say, yep, that's exactly why me and Ahmad are friends.
Mm.
Me and Ahmad ain't got that much in common except big booty women and the love of the Lord. About all me and Ahmad got in common. We argue about everything else.
Everything.
Everything.
Did he tell
Right?
you that he cried at the bowling alley?
I was there. I
I just
seen it.
wanted to, I just wanted to make
I
sure because
I seen it. He
we
spilled all the
argue
blood.
about that. So I just want to make
Yeah.
sure that
Well,
was
you know,
one of
he
those
he took
things. If he
he
ever
took those
told you,
tears. He took those tears and tried to put them on me like I cried at my wedding day. And now there's pictures and video of my wedding and still ain't no tears. You see what I'm saying?
Are you sure about that?
Listen, prove
Don't
it.
make me. I will plug in my hard drive right now and put the picture up on the podcast.
We ain't got no time for it. First off, I seen that picture and there's no tears. All right. But you know what? I know. I knew once I made it this high up, there was gonna be haters coming out. I just didn't expect it to be you. But hey,
I'm
you
just
know
saying.
what? Do what you need to do.
You know I got
You need to
pictures
hate
of
on
hey,
me. If you need to hate on me, go for it. But Charles, um, yes, brother. I'm now a D-list celebrity.
okay,
That means
got to
I
start
am no
somewhere.
I can no longer run out on the bill.
Okay,
I've been running out on bills my whole life, and now they know my first and last name. They know all my socials. There's no more running out on bills.
let me ask you this. I'm gonna pull one of these Ahmad Kennedy segues here, right?
Oh,
So we were talking about it being it's Atlanta's heavy. Everybody's outside. Can't run out on the bill. Everybody know the name. We got to talk about it.
oh,
45. He surrendered to the authorities on the RICO charges. Right now, this Atlanta district attorney, she's the same one that's prosecuting YSL, Young Thug, all them boys. Right. I was very surprised that it would get this far because they're basically saying this is RICO. To even get to the point where someone, listen, I've watched enough cop shows and cop movies enough to know that for somebody to have enough evidence on a RICO for you to make you actually surrender to the authority, it has to be something. So my thing is that what are we doing? What are y'all expecting to see? But what's your initial reaction that a president of the United States has turned himself in, and while he was bonded out and arraigned on RICO charges behind the Georgia election interference, though, bro? What we doing?
I got a bad feeling about this.
Ken- Kennedy, I will give the mic to you first if you want it. If not, I'll go.
I'll just say this. I think that I'm not gonna be comfortable until I see something happen because we've seen this story before of him being in trouble or oh yeah, this is the one this time we got it. This time we got everybody's flipping on him. This and then ain't nothing happening. So it's just like I'm cool. I see all the theatrics and stuff, but it's not doing anything but giving his base more ammunition to thinking, nah, this is why we putting this boy back in office in 24. So I'm not getting excited yet. I'm not celebrating, throwing no parties, or even like falling for the okey doke on all of the things that's being presented because I need to see results first.
Great, great dialogue. Um, I'm American. I'm American. I'm American as American could be. It's a black eye to America that we have a president facing all these charges. See, Bill Clinton being impeached in our lifetime, we was there when that happened. It was kind of funny, right? I did not have sexual relations with that woman, right? I remember that like it was yesterday. Um, but there wasn't no real crime, right? Donald Trump, however, he is damn near an American dream or an American nightmare, depending on whose vision we're looking at. So, like Ahmad, um, I'm not going. I'm not going to say get excited because I won't be excited if a president goes to prison. I'm not that guy. I'm not hating on his brother's downfall. However, I hope if you're going after him, you're going to go after him because I think him surrendering himself was one of the greatest Donald Trump plays to do. So he could literally say, "Look what they're doing to me. They're trying to do this and they're trying to do that. They know they don't have the evidence, but they still went off and did it." So, um, being the only man on this podcast that has been arrested on some trumped up charges, uh, I was found not guilty. I understand. So, if you did all this and you perp walked the president, you got his mugshot. Mind you, I got a t-shirt coming saying my president Donald Trump with his arrest number under him. They will be for sale on the Cockaroos website. Um, I just hope it's just not smoke and mirrors. Do not promise me a snake and give me chicken nuggets. And I feel like we about to get some chicken nuggets.
What say you, Charlie?
Hey, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that this further will elevate the folklore and all of the things that his base love about him. Here's where I'm going with that. So all of these, all this whole time, right? They've been getting by with, you think that the QAnon folks who have this conspiracy theory that only Donald Trump is the answer because he's not from the system, right? He's not a politician. So I think that they've already been behind all of the stuff when you think that all of the things about him, right, that just would disgust the average person. A lot of his fan base look at that and say, nah, he's not one of those lifelong politicians. And that's the reason why he's the answer. And I think that along the way, all of those things that have stood out from like his taxes, right? That everybody always wanted him to present a copy of that. Then all of the other things that they've never been able to pin to him, right? That they were like, okay, yeah, he's starting to look even more and more bulletproof. And so this becomes another high profile incident where I don't think that it will stick. He's not, I couldn't see him serving time, but because he's not going to serve time for it, right? I think that that's what's going to also make him even more of their hero. To the people that support him, I think is going to elevate him beyond. I think that the mania that you saw with him before was because a lot of people may have felt the way he felt, but never had that person who would say the things on that platform and actually get away with it. Or on that level, people say, I do feel kind of the same way. I just haven't been able to. So you got all these people who attach themselves to him because I think that he would say how to. So now those same people are going to say, hey, my hero done been through the ringer and he still survived it. And it's more of a reason for them to attach all that sensationalized love for him goes next level. Here's what I think. Here's what I find even more interesting, right? So I saw the other day at the the first Republican debate, and you have Mike Pence up there. He didn't have the fly on his head. You had the guy. You had Chris Christie, the chubby guy from Jersey, up there. You had Florida's governor Mike DeSantis. He's up there. And you got all these people that are up there, and they're essentially doing a charade of a debate. But the guy actually says, the guy hosting the debate says, hey, you know what? let's address the elephant of the room or the elephant that's not in the room, right? Donald Trump is being indicted, and he's going to show up. And they asked all of them. They said, with all that in mind, if he is indeed convicted, right? But the Republican Party still wants him to be the face of their candidate of their campaign and the candidate for the Republican. Will you all pledge your support to them? Raise your hand by show of hand. And despite all of that, all of them put their hands up. Now, the Chris Christie, he was the one that was kind of like, he tried to put his hand up, but make it look like, well, did he really put his hand up? He was just like, right? And he said something that I thought was very profound. He said, listen, I'll support it because basically I support the Republican Party. But somebody has to say this, though, man. His behavior is unbecoming of the presidential office of these United States. Somebody has to check his behavior, and nobody is. You just enable it. And he starts getting booed, and he says, listen, the great thing about this country is that you have a right to boo whoever you want to and as much as you want to, but it doesn't change the truth. This man, nothing about him is presidential. But all of them said that they'll support him. So for that reason, I think that it's more of a reason why it will just make his platform that much bigger. And to be honest, if he's not convicted, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I think that Joe Biden is in for some trouble when it comes to the election, though, bro. I don't think that it's a shoe-in this time that he gets it, though, bro.
I'm going to do something that I always say I'm not going to do on my social medias. I'm going to go back to what I was raised on. You cannot be friend of the world. But I'm going to jump from the biblical sense and I'm going to go back to American history. I don't know which great American father said it, but if the parties become bigger than the country, we need to get rid of the parties. And what you're seeing in this two-party system, Democratic, Republican, it's now we're not caring about what's good for the country. We care about what's good for the party. And that will always be sick, especially when the Republicans know that there is a fly in the ointment. But instead of throwing out the ointment and starting over, they're just going to deal with the fly. That's gross to me. Um, I'm relying on my God. I'm relying on my fellow American citizens to see past this. I think his base is pretty good. I think he's got a base like Bootsy Badass got a base, right? Bootsy Badass says whatever he wants to say, and they say, "Oh my God, we gonna cancel Bootsy Badass," but Bootsy Badass says, "You can't cancel me because you didn't bring me here. The people that brought me here been with me. They think like me, right? That's why Bootsy doesn't care if he makes #1 Billboard because he's made it on his base. That's Donald Trump. Only problem is Americans like to be with a winner. Republicans really want to beat Democrats. So when it comes to the Republican candidate to put up against Joe Biden, Mr. Fall Down the Stairs, Mr. Weakling, right? Because that's the way they're questioning. I'm not saying that about my commander in chief. That's what other people say because I work
Right.
on a I work on
You understand?
air
You're
base.
not. You're
Yeah,
just.
thank
You're
you.
just relaying the message. That's all.
Yes. So that's the way they see this man. Um, and then at the end of the day, this is who you put up. This great businessman, but he all his businesses fail. He's literally a liar. He's robbed everybody. He's robbed his base, right? Bootsy Badass ain't ever robbed his base. Donald Trump has robbed his base, makes fun of his base. Matter of fact, he was the enemy of his base 6 years ago.
Right.
7 years ago. He was the enemy of his base. And now these people, and I hate to say it, I apologize, man, that not the brightest people of America happen to be Republicans. Republicans are for the rich. The reality is the money I make, I should be Republican, right? I'm not Democrat either. I don't want anyone to assume.
I don't think I agree, and we can set politics aside because I don't think I think that the two party system was set in place to benefit those who it benefits the most, right? I don't think that we're so far into that now to where I don't think that it would ever change. But as long as that's the foundation of this country, you'll always have that. You'll always, because this is my thing. You like to think that at the end of the day, the Republican candidate and the Democratic candidate should be the two absolute best people we have to represent the country, right? And the bad part about it is I honestly believe that this past election with Biden and Trump, I don't think that it was. It may have been probably two of the, I'm not gonna say two of the most unqualified, but it was probably a time. I would probably say this is a top 5 time, which is the scary part about that. A top 5 time where we've had probably not the best candidates, but then the biggest turnout in the history, right, of voting history, right? The most people that ever voted for Biden just to prevent Trump from getting in there. But then Trump had the number 2 number of votes because that many people felt that strongly about him and felt so opposed to to Joe Biden. So like I said, I think that this does nothing but strengthen what he's doing, though, man. It's embarrassing as it is that the president of the United States is actually being indicted on RICO charges, and not just that, the recording that they're using makes him look bad, right? And as damning as it is, people don't make it seem like it's that big of a deal.
They need to, and even if the case doesn't go, show the evidence. This is why. They got to show the evidence, right? And that leads me to believe that I have to depend on my children. My children are voting age.
That's true.
To all my friends out here right freaking now, if you don't like Trump or if you don't like Biden, whatever, talk to the kids because they are who's going to pick the next president because they are the voting power.
Mm-hmm.
The youth, if you can get them to register and vote, because that's the trick. Just because you get them to register, you got to get them to vote.
Yeah.
You get these kids to understand that voting is important. So you complain about this and you complain about that. You have a right now to make a decision for your future for the least next 8 years. That's what people don't understand. It's 4 years of this and then it's 4 years to try to undo whatever that president did. Talk to your kids, man. I don't worry about who follows Trump. I don't worry about the support he's getting because he's amazing. Trump is a lot of things, but he is amazing. He is American Idol, man. He is that. You just gotta have faith, man, that we know what's best for us. So when I run into people that say they're voting for Trump, I say, why? What does Trump do? Well, he's better than Biden. I said, well, who did who who did Biden rob besides the black community? But that's a whole other story. But who did Biden rob? You see what I'm saying? If Trump beats Biden, do you think Biden's going to call everybody to storm the Capitol? I think Trump needs to be charged with treason. Period. Let's get it out the way. If it is what it is, it's treason, and there is consequences for that. But can we please change the subject? Because I feel like I'm on.
Okay, I'm gonna say this because it's something you said about that. Let me just say this because you brought up treason, right? Doesn't he seem like that he would though? Like, here's what's funny. Doesn't it seem like when he had all those classified documents at his home that it was like just in case? Like, it feels like to me that he does so much business or was trying so good to be in the good graces of Putin. He's like, I got some classified information that I'd give you.
It feels like two things.
He seems like that.
It feels like two things. It feels like an episode of House of Cards because I just rewatched the series. It definitely feels like House of Cards, but it also feels like an episode of G.I. Joe, bro. It feel like 45 works for Cobra, bro. That's what it feels like.
That's great.
But look,
he's friends with Kim Jong-un,
like a mole.
Kim Jong-un and Putin. Yes, two of our enemies. You talk about their great leaders. Oh my. Okay, I'm sorry. Go.
Well, since I brought up fantasy, I did want to before we get into we got a lot of sports stuff to talk about. I did want to bring up, bro. We all Star Wars fans. Ahsoka
Yes.
finally has hit. Rosario
Yes.
Dawson reprising her role as
Yes.
Ahsoka. What y'all
Yes.
boys think, bro? 2 episodes in, what y'all think?
I apologize. I have not watched them yet, and I didn't watch them on purpose because I really want to hear the spoilers from you guys. It's gotten to the point now where I'm not even scared of your spoilers. It's where I can agree or disagree. Usually, so please tell me what y'all think. Just know that as soon as I log off from here, I'm going to watch it. And then I'm going to spam both of your accounts with how wrong you were.
Okay,
Okay? Is that fair? All
Charlie,
right.
what you got?
Did you freeze on us?
Chief, I think Chief frozen.
Okay, so I don't know if my Wi-Fi was. Listen, I don't know if my
Yeah,
Wi-Fi
you
was
was
just
froze.
taking
You
an
was
L
froze.
right then.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
took an L.
Let me tell you. Okay, let me tell you this. So for starters, before we talk about L's, Chris, let me tell you how bad I was doing the pod in my basement, right? And Ahmad said, "Yeah, man, your picture look bad right now. It look like Chris's cell phone bad." I said, I knew exactly. I laughed, but I knew exactly what he was talking about. I knew how bad mine looked.
Look, this is what make it. This is what make
Oh,
the joke even
listen,
better.
man.
Because hold on, before you say that, this is what made the joke even better. Because he posted a picture today on Facebook,
Yesterday.
bro. And
Yesterday. Yesterday. Yesterday.
okay, I
Yesterday.
was in tears because I'm like, he
On
just
purpose.
he just proved it all over again.
Because I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Listen to me.
Yeah.
Um, we go get back to Ahsoka. I, I came here, ladies and gentlemen, because I heard my name was being dragged through the mud by these big box head brothers from Texas. So I had to
Oh
come
my
here to let
God.
them know I don't give a damn. All right. This is the thing. You know what I don't do? I don't take angles. I don't take the perfect picture. You see the cockaroo in bright light and living color, I'm amazing. But when you see me on the internet, you
No,
think I'm
it's
nobody.
no, you know
Listen,
what it is, bro.
you
It's
shut
the
your mouth.
phone. It's the actual phone.
Turn it off.
I
It's not
think that
your
you are.
candy ass turn it
I
off.
think that you must be taking them pictures on like a Nokia phone where you still play the snake game on, bro. It look
Oh,
they listen, bro.
I
As
got it.
your brother
I
from
got a
another
Google.
mother, I
I
just
got
have
a
to tell you.
Google Pixel. I got a Google Pixel, the best camera taking phone there is. Do you understand
Listen,
that I do not care? I don't care. I
why?
snap a picture and go because listen. Y'all ugly in real life, so y'all got to take angles and stuff. See, I'm beautiful. You see
Nothing
what I'm saying?
makes me more
You too.
mad. Nothing
Yeah,
makes me more mad than seeing people post
listen.
blurry pictures or
Yeah.
like there
Hey,
was no quality
yeah.
assurance check after you took that.
What's my job? I'm
Look,
the deputy chief of
look.
quality assurance.
Here's the crazy
Remember that.
part. If he's saying that he got the best technology to take the picture, then it is purely operator error.
It's because I
It
don't
is
care. Matter
all
of fact,
user error, bro.
if the picture's too good, I'm not gonna post it. People think I was hacked. If if you see a great
Oh my
picture on my
god,
Facebook
bro.
page, please believe my kids took it. It
Yeah.
wasn't me. Tina. Now Tina, I've watched. We went on vacation. Tina, we go to Hawaii. We on the beach. I'm chilling, having a ball. Tina is having a whole photo shoot by herself. You see what I'm saying? But the pictures were
Mm.
amazing. See what I'm saying? But you know what I ain't got time to do? Sit back and take the perfect picture. I'm a country boy, man. I ain't got no time for that. If you want to see what I look like, call me. I'll send you some pictures.
Yeah,
They're
but
probably gonna be
it's
dick
not the
pictures.
you in the pictures that we be trying to see. It's like everybody else. Like, when you run up on Dave Chappelle and stuff, we want to see Dave Chappelle in the picture.
Hey, listen. You should have been there. That's all I can say. You should have been there.
The
You know what
names
I'm
be
saying?
busted,
Listen,
bro. I
hey,
want you to
listen, I
know
want
that I
y'all.
told you that.
I want y'all to really wonder, like, is that even a real picture? Is he really there? I want to keep them confused. I leave a little mystery to people. See, now in the time where you can go find out everything about somebody, all I'm gonna do is make you wonder, am I really as cute as they think I am?
Mm.
And was that Dave Chappelle? Was that Erica Badu? Maybe. I don't know. You can't tell. Sound the
Hey, let
NDA,
me
so I
let me
wasn't
tell
supposed to be
you.
taking pictures to begin with. That was the problem.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this though. You're gonna want to watch that Ahsoka though ASAP because the first 2 minutes of Ahsoka,
Let's
epic.
go.
Epic. I
Let's
think
go.
that it's probably one of the best entrances, like intros for one of the probably one of the best 2 minute intros in Star Wars. And I don't want to seem like a prisoner of the moment, but like it reminded me of right
Rogue
off
One.
the cuff, Rogue One. It reminded me right off the cuff of the scene where on Obi-Wan when we were basically said, dang, you know what? We never seen Vader just be ruthless and he threw the little kid, right? Threw the kid into the little wall or whatever to the house. Like that was that. And I was just like, dang. So then what blew me away is I'm like, yo, this ain't even we ain't even seen Ahsoka yet. We just see somebody who's just cold. So I'm thinking like, if he's that cold, surely she got to go next level with it though, bro. So I was locked right after that though. But I absolutely love it. But I've always felt for some reason, bro, that I was a bigger Rosario Dawson fan than most people. Like it's weird that I thought
Jesus
that
Shuttlesworth,
Rosario,
baby. Jesus,
yeah,
Jesus Shuttlesworth.
I
Jesus
thought
Shuttlesworth.
that I thought that Rosario Dawson would be what Zoe Saldana is. Like career wise, I thought that that was what she was though. And I get it,
She's
you
too
know
thick
that
for that.
everybody,
She's too
different
thick for that.
different folks. But yo, when I
Listen,
saw her at
time.
7 pounds, that put me over the top. And when I saw her in
When
Alexander the Great, over the top.
what is the time period Star Wars that Ahsoka's taking place in?
It's the time period, the same time period as Mandalorian. So it's after,
Okay.
so this, but the actual time frame, this is this is basically the live action version of Rebels. So if you've watched Rebels,
Oh
this
hell
is
yeah, the
where
cartoon.
as a,
Yeah.
yeah, as a
Okay.
matter of fact, the ending scene in Rebels they recreated in live action on this show. So you will see a
Okay.
scene. What up though? So yeah, you will
What
see
up,
a scene.
though?
You will see a scene basically that happened in Rebels. You'll see it in live action
Oh,
on
that's
the show.
beautiful. That's
I didn't
beautiful.
know. I'm gonna be. I didn't know. You know. I don't know though. I saw Rebels, but I don't remember what scene that was though.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
right now, you're not as Toys R Us kid as me and Ahmad. And I
No.
appreciate that about you. I appreciate that about you. But I watch a cartoon over a movie any day of the week because I'm a Toys R Us kid. Hence why Star Wars is top tier for me, right? Just like the new Transformers, you know what I'm saying? The new Transformers, just woo, I'm ready for it.
It's pretty dope.
So please tell me more.
Okay,
Yeah.
basically, man, you know, in okay, you saw Rebels, correct? Okay.
All 4 seasons.
Okay, so basically, you know that they're looking for Thrawn because they believe that Thrawn is the key to finding Ezra. So you know, you got all the old characters, bro. When that boy Chopper comes on the scene, it's like a pop, bro, like a wrestling pop, bro. Because it was just like that boy Chopper was it's just as gangster as he is in the cartoon. He was just as gangster in the show. You know what I'm saying? Talking all kind of trash. Like he was Chopper is the most animated droid, but the other droid that's in there, he's a Jedi droid that's with Ahsoka. He's
Jedi,
super.
one of the flying ones.
No. He was one that kind of taught some of the younglings in some of
Okay,
the
got
yeah
okay. Okay.
he's like that's like Ahsoka's co-pilot, and he's very witty, bro, very witty. And it's like the crazy thing is like the girl who plays Hera, she is the same person who voiced Hera in the show, and then you have the same person who plays Chopper is voicing Chopper. Uh, and then this, I mean, you know, they keep it. The only person that's really not the same, obviously, is Ahsoka because Ashley Eckstein was the voice, but you know, Rosario
No,
Dawson
no.
won the part.
Shit. First off, how they know what I was fantasizing, but that's a whole nother Pornhub. Follow me on Pornhub. I'll give my name later. Um, yes, thank you. I will pick it up. To all the Slash Brothers fans, watching with me Tuesday night, right?
Yeah,
Airs
Tuesday
Tuesday night,
at it's
8
9 o'clock
o'clock,
y'all's time, I think.
9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So now to what you boys do best.
Well, before
Um,
we want to start the sports talk, let's get the somber thing out the way first, and then we can, that way we can end the pod on a high note. Uh we're all wrestling fans, and we know the boy Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda. He recently just passed due to a heart attack. Uh, Here just a couple of days ago, Triple H posted that, I believe yesterday. Yesterday, Triple H posted it. I forgot that his dad was IRS. I forgot his dad was
I
IRS.
didn't
Yeah.
know that
Mike
they showed
Rotunda.
that they showed that picture.
No.
They showed that picture, man, of him doing the push-ups was on the back, and I was like, I don't think I ever knew, but
I
I
did
listened
know,
to
I just
seriously.
forgot.
Well,
I
let me
knew
tell
his
you.
brother
Oh
was.
man.
Well, let me tell you this though. What I'm wondering now though, right, is that his name is Wyndham Rotunda, and I'm wondering, like, is he named after like Barry Wyndham, or is Barry Wyndham like not? Because imagine now, I thought Barry Wyndham was his real name. I hope it was his real name. So I'm wondering, like, all right, did he like name him after Barry Wyndham, the wrestler?
It's possible.
I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, his real name is Wyndham Rotunda. Yeah.
Yeah,
And he
like
was
the
married to
Wyndham
JoJo.
Wyndham stood out to me though. But
Yeah,
I knew that IRS was Mike Rotunda, so yeah, I knew that.
yeah.
I
And
knew that it was
Bo
Mike
Dallas,
Rotunda because he was Mike Rotunda back when they had the varsity club with the Steiner brothers.
Man, come on now. I again, I know that, but I didn't put that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
juice.
Bo,
Easter
Bo,
egg, right? Easter egg shit.
Bo Dallas is his brother.
Right.
So yeah, and then of course, like I said, he was married to JoJo. But again, 36 years old, and the original. So what happened was he was actually supposed to be on WrestleMania fighting against Bobby Lashley. His last actual fight he fought with LA Knight on SummerSlam. They did the Mountain Dew match. You know what I'm saying? That was his last official match. And then he was, like I said, going into the program with Bobby Lashley. They were supposed to fight at WrestleMania. He got sick and has been sick ever since. And they didn't release why. They said undisclosed illness. Come to find out, it was a COVID complication that messed with his heart. And then he ended up having a heart attack and passed yesterday.
Wow.
On Biggie, and we lost
Wow, that's crazy.
Biggie Langston. Biggie Langston can't wrestle no more neither, right? I found that out about a week ago. They say
That he can't
Biggie
wrestle anymore?
they said
I
that
think
he's
I
his
think Big
doctor
E is
said he
coming
can't
back.
his doctor they said his doctor highly recommended that he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, because
Check
well,
me,
his
check
son,
my facts.
his
Check my
yeah,
facts.
because I mean
Check my facts.
his neck thing, he never did have to have surgery.
Right.
So but we did. So Terry Funk also passed too.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, listen.
So
On a much lighter, funnier note here, we can talk about
Please,
these
come
sports.
on.
Listen, if y'all want a quick laugh, right? Y'all should go on TikTok, and there's a whole rabbit hole you can go down where they're talking about that Donald Trump, when he went in to the arraignment in New York in April, he had listed himself at 6'3", 240 some pounds. And then he self-reported in Atlanta that he was 6'3", 215. And people was like, listen, ain't no way in hell. So you got a whole feed of dudes that are like, listen, I'm 6'3" and I'm 215. This is what it looks like, right? Ain't no way in hell though,
Come on,
right?
man.
They said
Come
maybe
on,
this
man.
dude should put a 3 instead of a 2. But I laugh
Come on,
because
man.
I'm looking at that and
Come
I'm
on,
thinking
man.
like, bro, listen, man, nah, ain't no way. They said that math ain't mathing. Funny thing to talk
That
about.
math
Though.
ain't
If
math.
y'all got some
I'm
free
I'm
time though, man.
I, I'm 5'9", 215. and my gut gets on my nerves. You dig what I'm talking about? 5'9",
Hey.
215, ladies. You know what I'm talking about? And I don't like it. I'm gonna get back in shape one day. Probably not. But what I'm saying is, ain't no way in hell that my president, that one that just took a mug shot, is 215. Maybe his
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
His head might be 215.
Listen. Anyway, since we've been on, hey,
Oh, shit.
listen.
Fuck
Since
you.
we've been on, I mean, we were talking about getting into some sports, but Trey Lance traded
Oh,
to the Dallas Cowboys for a mid-round draft pick. Hey, oh my God. Okay.
is that
What are
locker
we
room? Is that a locker
what are
room
we doing
problem?
here? What's going on?
Is he a locker? He might be a locker room problem. What? I don't know. What is it? Why would you do it? You worked so hard to get him. You worked hard.
I'm gonna tell you my logic. I'm gonna tell you my logic.
Come on.
Okay, so my logic is this. My logic tells me that Brock Purdy played in the Big 12, by the way, and played through his senior year at Iowa State, right? And I think that they saw enough from Brock Purdy last year to where Brock Purdy would be the favorite, even though they brought in Sam Darnold, a veteran, capable backup quarterback. I think they saw enough to know that Brock Purdy is our guy. And the problem with that is that the 49ers are a Super Bowl contending team. Clearly, I think they would have gotten to the Super Bowl if Brock Purdy doesn't get hurt. With that being said, I think that the 49ers are basically saying we don't have time to keep developing Trey Lance, right? Especially when we know, right? Especially when we know that Brock Purdy does everything that we want to do to try to win a Super Bowl right now. And I agree with my brother Courtney, who says once they sign Sam Darnold, then that also told me that they're not seeing right away what they think Trey Lance could be. I think he's still only 23 years old. I think he just turned 23, so he has a lot of time. But I think that they see this particular roster and the Super Bowl window, very small window. You're talking about 2 to 3 years, and I don't think that they're willing to wait on Trey Lance to get in there, make the mistakes, learn from it. All the things that you typically would give a quarterback who's drafted so high. And so I think that they're out on him because of their roster. I think that they weren't expecting to compete for a championship right away when they picked him on up. But once they had Brock Purdy, that was it. They said, all right, we're good.
How long Trey been with him?
Trey Lance has been with them for this will be year 3. He was injured basically all of last year and some of the year before, I believe. So he's never had the opportunity to get out there.
What it is, man, is the rules that we grew up on aren't the same rules anymore. Patrick Mahomes, rookie year, comes in, does phenomenal numbers, right? With my Baltimore, Lamar comes in, rookie year, phenomenal. It doesn't take much. And nowadays, our society, my Yang, my cousin Dietrich, he says we are a popcorn, Pop-Tart society. We want results right away. And I mean, God bless Trey. But like I say, to after they did so much to get him, I feel like they're giving him up too easy, right? Um, is there another problem? That I'm a drama queen. I'm a drama queen. So it makes
I
me
don't think that
wonder.
I don't think that there was any he wasn't a locker room issue.
Okay,
He
I
just didn't
don't think
perform
that
well,
he
bro.
ever had the
he just
opportunity.
didn't perform.
Yeah.
No,
So
even watching him in preseason games, right? He didn't have very many accurate throws. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Ooh.
And so when you don't perform well, you got outperformed because they had an open challenge for their quarterback position. Sam Darnold came in, you knew he was hungry, you know what I'm saying? And Purdy, that he was already proven. So you had to come in and be ready. And when you coming in and still looking like a rookie or still can't make simple throws or whatever the case may be, bro, this league, this is a league of results because people's jobs is on the line based upon the way you perform. And unfortunately, your job was on the line, and you getting another opportunity. So hopefully he can take this and go to Dallas, and because Dak is on the hot seat. So hey, he got another opportunity.
That's
This
it.
gonna make
So that's
Dak.
where I
This
wanted to
this
go.
is gonna
What does
make
that
Dak.
mean for Dak?
It's gonna make him perform because we know Dak can do it, but it seems like Dak, in my opinion, has rested. Oh, hey, I'm the best Dallas has had in a long time. I can sit here. I've proven they didn't want to give me this, didn't want to give me that. They gave it to me, and I gave them enough to rah rah. But you know what? Nobody thinks that the Cowboys are going to go, so he's resting on his laurels, in my opinion. And again, now that we just heard that Trey's on the way, I hope that makes Dak say, "Wait, what?" You know what I mean? I hope that wakes him up. I mean, but again, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I do love competitive football, right? I grew up watching Dallas win. So again, I like teasing Dallas fans because they're not winning. But just like the Los Angeles Lakers, I've never been a fan of. However, when Lakers are winning, it's fun for most of us, right? When Dallas is winning, it's fun. We like to say,
It's
"Ah,
not.
get
No, it's
them."
not. I don't care if they
It's
win.
where I'm from. See, I'm not a hater of any team. Like, well, I take that back. The Chargers can kiss my ass, and the Raiders. I mean, I hope you finally found a home. But outside of that, I don't have any problem with anybody else in the NFL. So again, I love talking to Dallas fans. I love talking to Pittsburgh fans because they talk about the trophies that they won, right? I mean, and like I said, I talk about yesterday and tomorrow. And for the fans that didn't know, I am the son of the High Chief, Leon Tapton Weston. And we root Kansas City all day. Kansas City, Missouri, for
Well,
you Donald Trump fans, because you know Donald Trump said it was Kansas City, Kansas, because he's weird. But that's okay. It's Kansas City, Missouri. I'm here to
let me
let you
ask you
guys
this
know.
though.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this though. So back on the Dak, right? Because here's a crazy thing though, right? So the Dallas Cowboys basically don't trade for players very often. It's rare. They've traded for Dion. They've traded for Charles Haley, right? Usually the Dallas Cowboys are very big since Jerry Jones has been there on growing homegrown players. And that was the reason why there's been this reluctance for them to trade for other players. They traded for Terrell Owens and everything like that, but it isn't usually their cup of tea.
Hey, hey,
So
look. I was about to say you ain't gonna let T.O. walk out that door. Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
But with that being said, though, right? Is this an indictment on what they feel about Dak and his lack of? Because do you think that
Yeah,
Trey
hands
Lance
down.
is really there to put pressure on Dak?
I do.
In my
I,
mind, go ahead, Mon. I'm sorry.
I will say that it's not necessarily, it is to put pressure on Dak because this, like, just like Cowboy fans, Jerry Jones always wants to be in the mix of thinking we're there, we're in that spot. He already said in the before preseason started, Dak has to come and protect this ball like I need him to do. Like, he came out and said something, not the coach. He came out and said something. So that's on his mind. He already had to pay Dak this money that he didn't want to pay him, right? And they got rid of Zeke. So it's like, yes, it is pressure on Dak because this is the pressure that you put on yourself, bro. You asked for this money, but we keep falling short, and you the leader. So yeah, we bringing somebody else in to let you know, nah, bro. Just like how Romo had that clock, you got the clock on you now, bro.
I think that the
I
interesting
couldn't
thing
say
is
nothing else.
this.
Yeah.
The interesting thing to me is that the Dallas Cowboys, like they brought in this year, and I only know this because they always talk about the Cowboys all day long. But they brought in Brandon Cooks, who I like he was from Houston, he played for the Saints, and everywhere he's gone, he's played great, right? And he's fast guy, take the top off. They brought in Stephon Gilmore at DB and everything like that. But I think that what I think is interesting, though, it is saying a lot to me that rather than them add more on offense, because seeing that your Pro Bowl running back is injured and coming back, you could have signed Kareem Hunt, you didn't do it. You could have went out to Dalvin Cook, you didn't do it. You could have went out to Josh Jacobs, you didn't do it for these top flight running backs. But you're gonna sign a quarterback, right? For when you got your franchise quarterback. So part of it makes me think, hey, it's no pressure. We're just adding depth. But it also makes me think that it's saying a lot that a team who usually doesn't make trades, right? They'll sign some free, but traded for your position though, man. So it's interesting though, man, that I think that it does feel like it's an indictment out there on Dak, but I don't know that Trey Lance is enough to make me think that there's pressure. Maybe long term, because Dak's contract, when he got that bag, it was set up such that it's a short term, long term deal, short enough to where he would be able to go for another bag again. And I think that they're basically setting up to where if Trey Lance starts to look better and better and better, that maybe in year 2, 3, that he becomes a possible option to succeed.
Mm, and I think I don't think Jerry Jones is a fool as much as people make him seem. But everything you just set up is exactly what it is. It's a strange turn of events. If it works out this way or that way, Jerry isn't losing, right? So if he brings in this young quarterback that had promise, and I got him for a trade, right? I got him for this little bit. I didn't give up much to get him. And if it sets fire back to the golden boy I picked so many years ago that brought the spark back. You got to remember, Dak and Zeke brought the spark back to the Cowboys. I remember because Zeke is from Ohio State and I happen to be in Dayton, Ohio. So I heard about him every day, all day, halter top and all. So again, if I take this boy that didn't cost me much to light a fire under Dak's ass, it's a win-win for me. Either the boy performs like we thought he could have, and I get rid of Dax, who made me pay him more money than I wanted, or it makes him step up to the plate and go back to what you get back on the game plan. So it's a win-win for the girls, boys. Um, Next topic.
I mean that's we kind of got to back out of it. We've been talking for over an hour now. We didn't did that.
Wait a minute. So we don't get to say who's the best point guard of them all?
Well, let's close it out with that because I mean I don't think that's going to be a very long conversation.
Hmm. See, you
So
up?
the
Who's the
the,
best
the
point
issue
guard?
the issue is they've been asking that Steph was on like another podcast or interview or whatever, and they had asked him, hey, you know what, when it comes to PGs all time, where do you see yourself? And he said, obviously, there's the magic that people put on the list, and he says, hey, go number one all time. Okay, so here's the question: then. Is he wrong?
He ain't wrong.
You don't think that Steph is wrong?
I don't think he's wrong. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. There's a time to be humble. There's a time to be humble, and then there's a time to believe in yourself. And I have no argument whatsoever if that man feel like he is the best point guard. That man got 4 rings to back up his claim that he's the best point guard. There was a time where they were going to 5. Okay, even better.
Magic, no. Magic got 5.
It don't matter. It
Hey,
doesn't matter.
Charles, you cheat.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I said was I answered the question. It's nothing wrong with him feeling like he is the best point guard because of the fact that he has the rings to back it up. If this was like, for instance, right, everybody knows I love Russell Westbrook. So if Russ came and said, hey, I'm the best point guard there ever was, Russ ain't got no rings. You know what I'm saying? So even though I would agree with him, then it's not going to hold weight anywhere. But the fact that this is even a topic on the sports world, I think that he's within his right to say that he's the GOAT. I don't have nothing against him. Plus, he changed the face of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to shoot the 3 now because Steph has turned this into, like, people are getting rid of big men. The traditional big man is leaving teams because of the fact, what you gonna do if I'm shooting 3s all day?
Mark Lewinsky. Um, so Ahmad kind of stole my fire to an extent. Um, I agree that he has the right to call himself the GOAT. Do I agree that he is the GOAT? No, I don't. Now, and it just goes down to two things. What have you done for the teams you play for, and what have you done for the game of basketball? And then Ahmad, headlined it with, "Oh no, he literally has changed the way we're playing basketball right now to the point that they are considering getting rid of the 3-point line." Not going to happen, but it literally has came up in conversation, right? Do we need it? Why do we even need it? Blah blah blah. But when was the last time that we had to say a point guard has never done that? And that was the Magic Show. I'm a drama guy, right? I have HBO Max. I think it's Max now. And there's something on HBO Max right now. It's called Winning Times. And it literally shows you when the NBA was nothing. Nobody watched it. It was the 16th most popular sport in America. And then there was a man that was drafted out of Michigan State, Irvin Magic Johnson. In his rookie year, he put the NBA on his back. So, Steph shooting threes, pretty cool. But I remember there was a whole team called the Orlando Magic that was on their way to championship with the threes, and the threes failed them, and they had nothing, and they lost. Win by the three, die by the three. Steph has 43%, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. A lot of us can train to do that eventually. There will be people shooting 87% threes or whatever. What I'm saying is, Magic Johnson made the triple double something for point guards to go for. Triple double. It wasn't even talked about. It wasn't a thing. So yes, Steph improved the 3-point shoot, but Magic Johnson invented the term triple double. And the only thing that beat that man was sex. I mean HIV. You see what I'm saying? You got to remember, we didn't get to see Magic all the way. We didn't get to see him go right back at Jordan. HIV took him out, and a dude by the name of Clyde Drexler. Do your history. All I'm saying, Steph, you have the right to put your name in there as the GOAT. And I wouldn't laugh you out. I won't laugh you out of it. You do have a contention to go for that. But it's my vote is Irvin Magic Johnson. Thank you.
Okay, Ace Kennedy. I had so much to say about this. So I'm gonna say it like this. Magic Johnson carried the game, right? But Steph changed the game. And listen, with all things considered, my heart of being the basketball purist that I am hates the way that Steph Curry changed the game, right? I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hate it. But I can understand that in NBA terms, a 6'3 player creating space, a 6'3 player, that's why I think that people should respect Russ and his triple doubles a little bit more, right? Because, and listen, Magic Johnson is 6'9. I mean, it should be hard for you to get a triple double if you 6'9. You take up enough space, right? So you got rebounds by height. You got assists because you're running point guard and you're 6'9, so you should be able to score 9, 10 points then. Here's where I'm going with this, right? I think that Magic is the greatest only because I think that Magic clearly, personally elevated everybody around him. Every single player played better, were a better version of them because of Magic. Steph made it convenient for the other people to be better for them because now they don't get the double teams because you got to tend to Steph, right? So he makes Draymond be able to look like he's a Hall of Famer when he wouldn't do that on any other team because the spacing. He makes Klay Thompson the second best shooter of all time because Clay doesn't have to face the double team, right? So that's why I think it's indirectly where I think that Steph has a point, right? Where I think that Steph has a point. I do agree with you, bro. I'm of the belief that I'm tired of being humble, bro. When I say this all the time, when you try to be humble, people don't seem to respect that, not on the scale that they should. So I have no problem at all with him feeling that way. The same way how I don't have a problem with LeBron feeling like he's the GOAT over Jordan because you feel like your resume holds more over Jordan. Well, if you're Steph, I totally understand why he feels that his resume is better than Magic's. I totally understand. I don't think that you could just poo-poo at it. You look at it. When Magic came in and won that championship, his rookie year that you said, he had Kareem, Hall of Fame, all-time leading scorer out there. He had Jamal Wilkes already out there on his team. He had Spencer Haywood. He had Michael Cooper, one of the best defensive players ever. He came to a loaded roster and had just did what you're supposed to do with a loaded roster. And Magic has always played with the Byron Scotts. He's always played with all of these great players. And I think that what I believe gives Steph a little bit more credence to his claim is that he's won those with homegrown guys, right? Clay is homegrown. Dre is homegrown, right? They're home, and while there have been other guys to contribute to it, I think that Steph's biggest claim is just that. Now, with that being said, this Steph that we know, I had to explain to Landon, right? Like what Steph looked like prior to him.
Monte Ellis Steph.
Yeah. Steph with Monte Ellis wasn't always this. And all Landon knows is Steph being great. He didn't see Steph put in the work. But with that being said, Magic stepped on the floor. Great. Steph played himself into greatness. And
right,
I respect that you did that.
I think that adds a little bit of credence from my standpoint of watching his evolution to him being who he is to this day.
Agreed. I agree with that. That's why I think that he is. I think that he has, if he feels like, no, I've made myself from some scrawny 6'3" kid with a great jumper, because prior to that, there's been several guys. There's been several Stephs, right? I mean, John Paxson hasn't been a Steph. John Starks wasn't Steph, right? I mean, Steve Kerr wasn't a Steph. They've all had the great jumpers. But I think that for him to turn himself into just some guy with a great jumper and then evolve to that level, I can totally understand. There's a whole generation of people who've never seen the Steph before, the Steph with Monte Ellis, though, bro.
Hey. First off, what we're going to do, we're going to go back to Magic's rookie year. And everybody you talked about were damn near has-beens. And if we go back to the championship series, Kareem was not there. Magic Johnson, point guard, takes over a thinner position, right?
In the playoffs. In the
playoffs. That's what I'm saying.
Right, but to get there,
against the great Dr. J and his squad. So let's not act like because Magic had good players on his team that he's not Magic. We can't just say, hey, Magic's been great and Steph had to become great. Therefore, Steph's better. That's the way that in the public. That's me in the way the Flash Brothers podcast fans heard what you said.
Okay,
I heard what you said.
Listen. Jamal will listen. Yeah, people don't understand. When Magic came to the Lakers, he got drafted to the Lakers. First off, how do you have Kareem and how do you have any team with Kareem and how do you have Michael Cooper? How do you have Jamal Wilkes all on the team and still have a record so that you can draft Magic Johnson? Right? That doesn't happen.
That's the point I'm trying to tell you, because they weren't winning. As great as we know them to be, they weren't winning.
Jamal Wilkes, listen, the year before, Jamal Wilkes had already won a championship with the Warriors. So Jamal Wilkes was already a made man, right? Kareem had already won a ring.
But Kareem was in a funk. Kareem was in a funk, baby. I'm trying to tell you.
Kareem was.
You got to
Listen,
remember the
I get what you're
But the
saying.
Lakers. You know what I'm saying? And Magic brings it back because all these players that had won hadn't won in a while,
I don't
right?
disagree with that.
Outside of Will. You
I
got
don't disagree with that.
Spencer,
But by the
Spencer,
time Magic
you know what I
got
mean?
there, Jamal
He's
Wilkes.
been trash. You
Listen,
see what I'm
listen,
saying?
man. By the time Magic got there. Now, here's when I say what makes Magic great, because don't get me wrong, Jamal Wilkes was a better player by playing with Magic, right? Because Jamal Wilkes was a scorer. But I'm saying, though, that Jamal Wilkes had already won a ring. Kareem had already won a ring. So they were made men before Magic got there. Magic just made everybody better. And I think that that's always Magic's case of him being the GOAT.
Job? What's the point guard's job? He was the
to me, the point guard. Your point guard is your MC.
Them up. He woke them up, man. The Lakers couldn't win. They couldn't win, bro, and they had all the pieces. It takes me back to Shaq and Kobe. They couldn't win. They needed Phil.
Listen, bro.
They needed a spark plug.
Listen, all I'm saying though, man, is that to me, Steph's journey was something that he had to. I'm not saying the Magic was handed to him, but I'm just saying that to me, Steph had to build.
Story. Yeah, Donald Trump.
Yeah. So listen, talk
All right,
that.
so real quick, we y'all been kind of going back and forth. What is y'all's final vote? Like, what's just one word answer? Who is it out of them
Magic.
two?
Magic.
Please, I think in the comments / brother podcast fans, please let us know.
Listen, being the face of the league. Listen, being the face of the league, though, man, that has a lot of weight, right? I think that Steph has been one of the faces of the league, but LeBron James has been the face of the league the entire time. But for the league's ratings, basically to be contingent on your face, I think that does hold something, though, man. I don't think that Steph has had to face the pressures that Magic has had to face with being a true one face of the league. Even at Steph's peak, I mean, LeBron has always been LeBron, right? So that's the only reason why. Not the only reason why, but it's one of the main reasons why I give the Magic.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, at the same time, Magic did come in with the best nemesis ever, Larry Bird. There's a lot that lends to who Magic Johnson is. You know what I mean? If you watch the Magic Johnson story, my uncle was a big Magic Johnson fan. And that's the reason why
my daddy was a big Magic fan.
It's interesting you say that, though, because Steph's nemesis is LeBron.
Man, but LeBron's nemesis wasn't Steph.
That's a good point.
That's the problem. That is a great problem. Because I'm your nemesis. I have a lot of people see me as their nemesis, but I don't know their names.
No, that's like saying, that's what it is. That's just like saying, to me, that's like, so this is my thing. What Chris is saying is that LeBron has had many nemesis, right? Steph's nemesis, his antagonist has been LeBron. LeBron's had the Celtics. LeBron has had the Pistons. He's had the Spurs. He's had the Mavs. He's had Kobe. Steph was one of maybe 6 or 7 guys that are entities that LeBron has had as his nemesis.
What I'm saying is LeBron is the face of the league, so that you go head to head with the face of the league to where both teams have to regroup. I don't care about the span or whatever the case may be. That's his nemesis. Like, that's who people always put him up against. Who else is they put?
I agree with you. That's what people put him up against. But I don't think that everybody puts LeBron. I don't think that they automatically associate the Warriors with LeBron championships. I don't.
Right.
There you go.
Listen to what I'm saying. I agree. So when you guys are just saying that Bird and Magic went at each other, though, so what happens then when you have a Michael Jordan step into it?
That's when the era changed. It was the Magic era. It was the Magic era, and then Jordan comes in and takes it, right?
Yeah.
But he takes it under that American Olympics trade-off, the game that we never seen, right? When they literally said, "Damn, he got you there," and then Magic career's over. You right?
The boss is old.
and that's what I'm saying. So it's HIV, and we never really get to
No,
see
see,
the
not even
end of
that.
magic.
So,
That's what.
so,
That's where
so,
I go with that.
so not even just that. And I'm gonna tell you this. So one of the things that I think the reason why what makes it a little different is that so like Magic, you had the Magic going back and forth with Bird for like 9 years, right? Almost like 9, 8, 9 years, right? And
College, right?
even
They
the
started in
Jordan,
college.
right. But even the I'm talking about the NBA, 8, 9 years
Right.
where Lakers and
Oh no, that's
Celtics
what I'm saying.
they're
But
going back and
the,
forth, right? The years where Bird won the MVP 3 straight years, right? And I
right.
think that one of the things that's crazy to me is that what people still forget is the transition to Michael because they act like the Pistons didn't happen, right? The Pistons was whipping like right when Magic and then was starting to get a little bit longer in the tooth. Isaiah then was starting to come up on them, but then it wasn't until the Pistons started to get old that Michael and them also came on up. So that transition, people forget about that Isaiah and the Pistons era, where not just that they were there, but they forget that they was them dogs for a hot minute, though, man. But I
Them
think that
bad
it's
boys kept
easy,
their foot on his neck. Yeah.
and the reason why I think that it's easy to forget about that is the fact that Larry Bird was the true nemesis, right? People define Magic by Bird and vice versa. And I don't think that I don't think that they define LeBron by his battles with the Warriors. It's one of the sagas, but it's not the
That's right.
primary one, though.
Right.
Anyway, fellas,
Um.
what you got up for this weekend, Charlie?
Oh man, so let me tell you what I got going this weekend, bro. So I'm trying to get in the lab, but this is one of the first times that I'm going to a gun show, bro. I've never gone to a gun. I don't know why I'm excited for. I'm probably only going to be there for maybe 10, 15 minutes, but every
Move
time I
around.
always see these signs that says, "Oh, we got a gun show here." It's already like it's the day of, and I was like, you know what? 2 weeks ago, I saw a sign said it was a gun show, and I was like, you know what? I'm about to pull up on these boys though, man, this time. And I'm only gonna be doing it. I don't know what to expect. I'm gonna go look around, maybe buy a couple pieces of something. But I'm excited just to
I'm
go
so
ahead and do
sad.
that.
I
But
want to be there. I
outside
want to
of
be there.
that,
I want to be
uh,
there. I want to be
yeah, I've
there so
never
bad.
gone to a gun show before though. So I figured that I gotta go buy a gun and a knife. So I'm gonna go and buy. I gotta have a knife. So I'm hoping to get like a long Bowie knife, like a Rambo knife, though, bro.
Yeah.
No, no.
Uh,
Six
but
inches.
that's
6 inches.
it sounds weird, but I'm getting back into I'm recording some more stuff though this weekend. But aside from the recording something, I'm looking to go ahead and go to a gun show, bro. I'm pretty excited about it, man.
Yeah.
Seems like the most southern thing you can do is go to a gun show.
Like you, brother, I will be in the lab. I got 2 songs to get finished this weekend, and then my sister-in-law's coming into town. Just
Hmm.
found out today, and then of course we having some family time tonight. But that's about it. Cockaroo, with you, I know you was advertising a show earlier, so go ahead and give us
I'm
the
all
scoop,
over,
man.
man. I'm all over, man. I'm in the campgrounds. I don't remember the address. I'll make sure I post it. I'm on campgrounds comedy show this Saturday. Sunday, I'll be at an art show for Miss Karen Cummins down at Black Palette Art Gallery. Dayton folks, Dayton Metro, come out and see us. It's going to be a great time. I'll just be walking around shaking hands, selling tickets for the Labor Day Labor of Laughs. Again, Labor of Laughs, Roll the Realist headlining, Tereb Cook, Monisha Williams, and my DJology. We'll be throwing it up, hookahs in the air, bartenders, food outside. It's gonna be a great time. Labor Day weekend, man. I am a D-list celebrity. If you see me out, I'll take a picture with you. I'll sign an autograph and I'll sell you a ticket to a comedy show.
Just don't let him take the picture with his phone, yo.
Facts. I was about to say the same thing. Oh my gosh, bro.
First off, these blurry
Man, I was
pictures are
about to
gonna
say
be
the
something.
same
They're
thing.
gonna be something. You're gonna wish you had a blurry picture of the cockaroo. You hear me? You're
No,
gonna
because I
wish.
got the clear ones. I don't need the blurry ones. I
Jesus
got the clear.
Christmas.
You talking about the one where I cried? That's not true. That's
No,
just
the
it
one
was
where you was like
Photoshop.
this.
First off, you need to quit. You need to get rid of that picture. That's an ugly picture. I don't even have no hair in that picture. That's not me. It's not me. I'm not even gonna sign off on that.
Man, look, thank y'all for
Love
joining
y'all,
the Slash
man.
Brothers and the Cockaroo,
Hey,
man.
be sure to give us the flyer. We can make sure we post it on the Slash Brothers page as well. And then, of
Done
course,
deal.
if you get this, you see it, like, share, comment, the whole 9 yards, though.
Amen. God bless. Oh, that was fun. Come here. Oh, you been still on my eyes? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Oh, you ain't gonna come up? Come here. Come here. Come here. You are such a hard ass. Come here. Oh. Come here. Come here.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Come here. Come here. Come here. Look. Look.